and welcome back to the channel. I'm building this project evolving around the Barmaley fountain in Stalingrad during the Second World War and the great battle that took place there. First off, just like to say thanks to all the new subscribers for joining and all the nice comments that have been left from part one. Really appreciate it as always. And so this is where we left off from the last video from part one. I built the base, the wooden base to present it all on. Constructed the groundwork and put together the fountain and some of the defences, made up the figures, and this is where we are right now. So jobs for this video, I'll be working on painting, detailing and weathering the fountain itself, and using Russian AF grey as the base colour for both for the fountain, the concrete, and also for the children also that are going to be going around the top. We were dancing around the crocodile. Next I'll be building up the Citroen car, which is quite a straightforward kit from Tamiya, and also building up some sort of defence to give these guys a bit more cover, since this car is obviously quite low. I've also got an idea of how to make the car look a little more battered. That I've seen a really nice technique I've seen online, so I'm going to give that a go if I can try and do it justice, because this guy did a really good job. And I'll show you throughout the video hopefully my attempts at doing something similar. So I've got that to do. Obviously do the groundwork, work on the gravel paths leading up to the fountain and the paving slabs in various tones and shades of grey, and then also the debris and the rubble scattered around. Pick out all the details of that, all the little bricks and pieces, and then obviously finally the figures themselves. We've got seven German figures and 5 Russian to paint up, so I can start working on those. So hopefully you'll enjoy, and we'll get cracking. here's where I'm up to right now. The fountain, that's had its initial coat airbrushed on using USAAF light grey, which I then darkened the initial grey, and then went mainly over the lower parts of the fountain to add a little shading. I then painted some of the details, the bricks, sandbags, etc. And then I added a Soviet propaganda poster sign, using a similar method to the other one that I made just before, to add a little bit of colour to the piece. This has all then got to be obviously weathered a lot more. I'm going to use the weathering pencils from AK, some oil paints, dust, rubble, that kind of thing. So there's still plenty of work to do here. So the sign, it stands out a little bit, but that's going to hopefully blend into the scene once it's all finished. So the first 4 German figures, they've been done now. I'm pretty pleased with the way they've turned out. I gave them white coats, jackets, as opposed to what was on most of the box art for these guys, because eventually I want this to be a really cold, damp scene during the winter in Stalingrad. A little bit of snow on the ground, not too much, but a little. So that's why hence why they'll be wearing the white. And to give the white jackets, or to try to at least not look like they've just come out of the wash, I've used some AK weathering pencils on them. I bought the black and white set just now, and I had that one from the last project, and as always, really nice. They come out quite nicely, quite a subtle effect. I didn't want to dirty them up too much, but they've lost their clean white colour, and then a few little bits of oil colours as well, and they've come out quite nicely. So the children's statues have just been slightly battle damaged. To do that, I used a drill and a scalpel, just picked away at them a little, with a couple even having their arms even more damaged. I tried to imitate some of the statues from the Stalingrad film set, the film set from 2013. I thought they looked quite nice, something I could try and imitate, but I didn't have the heart to take any of the heads off of my guys. So far they've just been airbrushed with a light grey, the same grey that I used on the base of the fountain, and now what I'll be working on next. That's what they look like right now. I'm going to start highlighting some of the faces, and then start discolouring them again using the AK pencils, try and get a nice effect on them, make it look like they've been through a war basically, and add a few oil paints just to pick out some of the details. So this is where I'm up to right now. The fountain is pretty much complete, except for a little bit of brick dust and some dirt pigments to add later on. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It's a really nice kit to do, and just tried to find a balance between it looking new and looking totally destroyed. It's definitely an improvement on how it first arrived a few months ago. There's a number of people on Facebook and Instagram have asked me where I got it from. It was from B&A World in Australia, and I was really lucky as since then I've done a quick internet search and it doesn't seem to be available anywhere from B&A. It's discontinued, and not even the manufacturer's website, which is a pity because it is such a nice kit, a unique piece. So the base colours are down for the rest of the groundwork. The paving slabs, the gravel, the shell holes, they're all ready to start working on next. As you've just seen, I've still got a lot to add to it, all the pigments and the washes, etc., to bring it all together. And as a final touch, I've decided to add a little snow in patches using AK's snow micro balloons to give it a damp, wet, wintry scene. And which will also complement the white camouflage of the German soldiers, and then of course using a little bit of the Vallejo mud again in the shell holes. That'll give it a nice touch and add some realism. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. In the third and final part of this little mini series, I'll be weathering the groundwork with some filters, the AK pencils, bits and pieces to give it a nicer finish. I'll be painting the remaining 6 figures. There's 5 Soviets and 1 Russian soldier left to paint. The first 6 are now completed. I'm really pleased with how the way they've turned out. I'll be varnishing the base, the wooden base, with a couple of coats of varnish, give it a nice finish, and ordering the nameplate as well. That'll be going on the front. As always, you can keep up to date on Instagram on the progress of how this is all going. Big thank you to everyone who's recently subscribed to the channel. Have left comments and put likes on the videos. As always, really much appreciated. And if anyone's any ideas how I can improve this any more, or any thoughts, please leave them in the comments at the bottom of the video. And again, much appreciated. So once again, hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.